Thanks, Jen. This is Nathan with classwork.com and a former high school social studies teacher. We're going to be diving into the new district admin dashboard. The big purpose behind this is because of how state testing is moving from a once end of year benchmark to through year testing, which means more frequent, shorter assessments throughout the course of the year to track progress and growth. We want to be able to surface that same level of info to you, the district and campus admins, all the way down to your teachers. Giving shorter, more frequent assessments throughout the course of the year helps you keep pace with this change in state testing. So here at a quick glance in your district admin dashboard, you'll be able to see some predicted growth, current standards mastery reports, and most importantly, know where you stand with these new daily to weekly check-ins. You can easily filter by what grade level to see that week or the week prior, and you can see the same thing at a glance throughout the course of the school year to see how each campus and grade level is performing. So really what we want to look at is how can this data help us in real time? And so we'll look at grade 7 math first. Typically when you see a chart like this where everything's going pretty well and there's a huge dip, that's usually an indicator for the curriculum team. It indicates one of two things. There's either something really off with this assessment or check-in, or there's something wrong with the curriculum. You want to be able to identify that problem in real time, which is why that longitudinal report is there for you. And you can see it both here at the bottom, test by test, or on a graph here. This allows you to really zoom in and see the dip. At the same time, you're able to compare your economically disadvantaged, emergent bilingual groups, all your different subgroups, and how they're performing against each other and campus to campus to see how things are going. But really, when we see a dip like this, we want to investigate, right? What happened? Why did we not perform very well here? You can look across all teachers and see that, this wasn't a handful of teachers dragging us down. Everyone across the board did not perform well. So what was on this check-in that caused this? From there, you can go and view the assessment that's been built in our curriculum authoring tool and dive right into the item analysis and start figuring out what happened. Okay, we have a big problem on question 3 where the majority of the incorrect answers was A. Is this a problem with the check-in itself or in the curriculum? This information shows you that there's a problem with the assessment itself. Question 3 is confusing the students, so we need to look at all the answer choices and fix it for the next time. Had it been a problem with just a handful of teachers or students, you'd be able to see that in this view and get the resources to the teachers and students to fix the misconceptions. So these are the kinds of issues you'll see in real time throughout the course of the school year. Here's another example of how the dashboard can bring things to light. We'll look at grade 8 language arts. Everything looks pretty fine here, but what if there's a single teacher that's struggling and you don't see it? The district dashboard surfaces that information for you as well. For example, I can see that Megan Morales was doing great throughout the course of the school year, and then when we came back from winter break, she drops off a cliff. Something happened. Schedule changes, it's a new class, major behavior problems, something's going on. But hopefully we're catching this right when it starts. And so I can go in here and look at the first 9 weeks and see she was fine. Second 9 weeks, right as we're heading to winter break, the drop-off starts. And it continues once we get back from the break. So this is a great indication that this teacher needs some help. She did great the first half of the year, but something changed and we've got to get some help for her immediately. So those are some other things you can identify real quickly with the new dashboard. Another problem you may see is just within a subgroup itself. So now let's look at grade 6 reading language arts. My emergent bilingual group, throughout the course of the year, is just steadily declining further and further away from the averages of all my other students. Well, if you don't do any type of intervention and you're just giving a couple of assessments every 9 weeks, you may or may not catch this. Classwork.com allows you the information to catch this early on in the school year, apply heavy intervention materials to your ELL students, and that's going to change the trajectory for all of your students, not just the ELLs, and for the students' final scores as well. It's going to not only bring the whole group up, but also really make sure that those emergent bilingual students aren't falling 20, 30 points behind everyone else, that they're getting the remediation they need when the gaps present themselves. And now to get even more specifically targeted, we can go back to grade 7 math here, and let's look at Brandon Scott. His overall data looks a little below average, but he's doing okay. Then I can scroll down and see class by class. His period 4, again, was doing well the first half of the year, and then something happened where his period 4 started performing very poorly. This is great information to help determine why one class is struggling while everything is okay in the rest of his periods. Perhaps that's a period that this teacher needs some assistance in the classroom. All of this is available to help you identify the needs as they're occurring throughout the school year.